Hello everybody, this is GamePro24X, and today I want to show you guys this neat little spreadsheet that I help edit and also made a pretty big change to it. That way it'll help whoever is trying to earn the Foodie or the Collector Trophy. This will definitely help you guys out a lot more than it did for me when I was first getting it. Now, of course, the original credit goes to everyone else who initially made the lists and whatnot. All I mainly did was I went in there, double checked everything, and I made some edits of my own. But mainly what I did is that I made a separate column and I put a checklist there. That way, for those of you who are tracking this achievement or trying to earn up for that achievement, or especially for those of you who are brand new to the game and want to document every single item that you've either consumed or crafted, it will come in very, very handy. And I really wish I had this when I was getting the trophy. And I'm a little surprised that nobody has done this to the spreadsheet until someone mentioned it to me and I decided to look into it, and well, here we are today. So before I show you guys the list, I want to go ahead and break down a few things, a few rules when it comes to both the trophies and what their requirements are exactly. Alright, so starting with the Foodie trophy, so what does count? The raw food counts. So like the raw meat and such, or the raw potatoes and whatever, that counts. All the recipes from all the kitchens you can collect, that all counts. And I'm not sure if the bottles of water and the canteens of water count, both the clean and the dirty variant, but you can check that out as the last things on your list if the trophy still hasn't popped for you. And these last food items, milk, rations, wild berries, and black carrots also count. And I'll detail a little bit later on how to get those things. What doesn't count in the Foodie trophy list is spoiled food, so you don't have to worry about that. If your food spoils, you don't have to eat it, you just throw it away, so don't bother with it. So I'm going to try to go through all these notes as fast as possible. When you're unlocking recipes, you will have to collect the animal again in order to unlock the recipe. So let's say you unlock the smoker, and you already have gerbil meat in your inventory. Well, guess what? You have to actually go out and grab yourself another gerbil. Then you'll unlock the recipe for the smoked gerbil. Not every animal can be made into certain food items, so at most you will need either 5 to 6 pieces of meat of every animal to create every single food item at once. But honestly, because food does spoil, I would kind of advise against that because you don't want to risk having any of your pieces of meat spoiling before you get a chance to make it. Make stuff, eat it, and check it off the list. Also, if a food item is brand new, it will have a little yellow dot on it in your inventory. So again, when you have that little yellow dot, just eat the food immediately, go to the list, check it off the list, and you don't have to worry about it ever again. So to save some space, the food prep facility actually counts as a kitchenette, the hanging pot, and a campfire. So you already have 3 items in one. So in reality, all you really need is just a food prep facility, a kiln, and a smoker. After that, you can go back out into the wild, collect all the animal meat, and you're good. And the animal meat can be obtained either like manually or from your farms. So it's very important to have every single animal in your farm aside from the birds. Alright, on to the collector trophy. So what counts? Well, obviously all the weapons and the armor, or they call it gear in the game, but it's armor. Either a normal crafting recipe or a broken version of that same weapon will count as the same thing. So a good example is, let's say you have just a recipe to just build a Rasputin, the double barrel shotgun, but you also have the broken version of the Rasputin that has like some perks and stuff. Whichever one you craft, it doesn't matter. Just craft one and that's it. You're done with that weapon forever. So you craft it and either you keep it or you throw it away and you check it off the list. Survival equipment like the small pouches and such, those count all the way up to the rare, which is a blue rarity. Now I'm not 100% sure if any of the gadgets count as well, so you will have to test that out as your final things if your trophy doesn't pop when you get everything else but the gadgets. So what doesn't count? The ammo types. So none of the ammo counts at all, so you're fine. None of the epic weapons or armor counts either, so you don't have to stress over that, thank God. The legendary equipment, like large pouches, those don't count because they're all purple. Base buildings don't count, so you don't have to build every single item in your base to get this. And pre-order weapons and armor don't count either. So if you have not pre-ordered the game and gotten those special things, don't worry, they don't count. So for the collector trophy notes, like I mentioned before, almost nearly all the large survival equipment, like the large pouches, they don't count because they are all purple, which is legendary. However, there is one large item that does count because it is a blue rarity or rare, and that is the large normal arrow quiver. And when I built that final item, my trophy popped. So that does count. That's the only large item that counts. All the blue slash rare weapons, you can only find those in weapon cases. So you can only find them broken. You can't ever have them and craft them whenever you want. Also, there are two pieces of armor that are also only found in blue gear cases as well. One's a torso and one's a leg piece. So my tip to quickly farming a bunch of gear and weapon blue cases is to go to Africa. Nearly every single container there in Africa will give you blue cases. So I tried farming in Afghanistan and it was mostly just green and white. So go to Africa and go and farm that. So you would talk to all the people that are around your FOB, get the container side ops, and grab a lot of grenades and a lot of C4. And in about 2 grenades and 2 C4, it should blow open the container. That way you can just run in there, grab stuff, and get to the next one. Because you will be farming for a little bit in order to get these 2 pieces of gear along with the other rare weapons. And the last tip that I know is going to help a lot of you guys out, you don't have to keep the pieces of armor and weapons with you in order to get the trophy. So if you craft a weapon or armor, all you do, like I said, you just craft it, check it off the checklist, and you just throw it away. You never have to deal with it ever again. So you don't have to have every single item on you to get the trophy, because I had it pop on me and I didn't have everything. Alright, so here we are at the spreadsheet. So I did make a little note here talking about the checklists. And of course, since I'm in the process of making this video, I'm also going to link it right here. That way others can, watch this video and know exactly what I'm talking about. So as you can see up here, these are all the people that can edit the spreadsheet, along with myself included. But let me show you something real quick. So if we go under equipment, now we have little check boxes. However, me as an editor, if I was to have this checked or whatnot, it will be checked for everybody. So obviously that's bad. So I got to leave that unchecked. But the simple solution for that is to either download this as whatever you want, whatever file you want. Just remember to kind of hit, control save periodically. Or if you hit this button, make a copy. So it'll go to like whatever folder you want. It doesn't really matter. You can just, delete it whenever. You can also choose to share it with the same people or copy it. You can just leave it just bare. Just leave it like this. Hit OK. And this practically makes an exact copy of what is currently there on the list. And as you can see up here, I'm the only one that can edit it. I'm the only one who can see it. But now, when I go under equipment, now if I ever need to use the checklist, I'm able to do that and it won't interfere with the entire shared checklist. And that includes all of you who want to use it personally. Now the cool thing is that whether you refresh this page, it still remains checked. Whether you accidentally close the tab and you reopen it, it still saves every single thing you did. So this does act just like a document would if you were to download it, except this was all done online. Obviously, if you have kind of shaky internet, maybe you might want to download this yourself and just keep it with you. However, if you actually want to have a more updated version of this entire list here, whenever I make changes or anyone makes changes, you'll have to re-download this whole list again. But I would say if you are going for the Foodie and the collector trophy, definitely just download the list now. It's practically like 99% accurate at this point. So whenever they add new stuff, it's not really going to hurt or contribute to the foodie or the collector trophy. So at the moment, you can just download this and you'll be fine. So we got equipment, we got food recipes. I actually just entered all this. This is all the stuff like the raw. So all the raw meat that counts towards foodie. And down here the raw, vegetables, but also the milk, ration, black carrot, and wild berry. And over here on the side, even though this doesn't really, this is not really the segment for it, I felt it necessary to actually put where you can find these. That way people know. So the ration you can only get from a daily login reward. I forgot what day. I think it comes at a certain day. I just don't know. I don't remember which one, but whoever does remember, you can leave a comment here and I'll adjust that. Black carrot, they can be found anywhere in the game, but if you want to find one right here, right now, they're north of base camp, right next to the command platform. So it's right there, and I kind of wish I had this information when I was looking for a black carrot because I had to run around for a while looking for it. And wild berries, they usually spawn right near water, so go to any like water source and you'll see like a little bush for wild berries. There's also a clear area that's right near the FOB, or sorry, not the FOB, the base camp that also has it as well. But yeah, they usually tend to spawn near water. And after that, everything else is just the same. So again, once you eat something, check it, and you don't have to deal with it ever again. So you can be going around the entire game, eating whatever, you just check it. And you just do that with every single item. And I know it's going to sound a little tedious, but trust me, when you actually come back and do this foodie trophy yourself, you're going to be so fucking happy that 80% of this checklist or whatever is already checked off, so you know exactly what you need to find, so you don't have to go there and eat every fucking piece of food like I had to, because I didn't know which one I was missing. So, yeah. With the... I don't think gadgets count, so I didn't add it in there. The gear, however, a lot of this does count. The only thing that doesn't count, like I mentioned, is the epic stuff. So everything else here counts. Everything that's purple tier and below counts. And as I also mentioned, there are some things that can only be found in the special boxes. So yeah, another thing about this is that once you build it, you don't have to build it again, and you don't have to keep it. So let's say you found a carrier vest. You don't really care for that piece of item, so you build it, check it off the list, and you just throw it away. That's it. So long as you have built it once in your entire game save, the game will always know that you've done that. So this checklist is very nice because it allows you to do that. So once again, whenever you get a piece of armor, or you feel like throwing away a lot of pieces of armor and you don't know if you've built them, well, check if you have, and if you haven't, build them, and then check them off the list, and then just throw them away. And eventually you will get the trophy. And here it is for weapons. Same exact thing. Epic weapons do not count. Also, the pre-order stuff doesn't count either. The pre-order weapons and gear, they do not count. So again, if you see something here or if you see a weapon that you want to throw away because you just don't want to use it or whatever, at least build it once, check it off the list, and throw it away. So when you come back and when you actually want to do this trophy and you want to actually complete everything, you will be very, very happy that this checklist is here, that you at least had the foresight to at least fill this out when you can. That way you're not struggling and figuring out which ones you're missing, because trust me, I had to go and rebuild a lot of different gear and it sucked. It really, really sucked. Whew, well, that was a lot of shit to explain, but hopefully you guys now understand how it works and how to get it to work for yourself. I do want to thank Mugen Draymond, that's how you pronounce it, for giving me the idea of making a checklist, as he mentioned it earlier today, and I did some research on the spreadsheet and I discovered the checklist function. I'm like, oh, well, let me see if I can convert this into a checklist, and let me see how you guys can actually interact with the checklist without interfering with the shared list in general. So thank you, Mugen, for giving me the idea so I can go in and actually make those changes for everybody. I also want to once again thank everybody who contributed to the spreadsheet, who initially made these big ass lists, because I know I didn't. But, you know, I went in and I put in my own work when it comes to reorganizing the spreadsheet and updating a lot of info, because I had to change a lot of shit on there. So now everything's a lot more accurate. But I'll go into detail on that in probably another video. But yeah, I hope you guys can enjoy this checklist and definitely use it to your benefit, because these two trophies, they're not very hard. The only difficult thing about them is, well, keeping track of what you have actually eaten and what you have actually built. So this checklist, I really do hope it alleviates that and makes things a lot easier for those of you who are still trying to earn this trophy. So if you guys really do appreciate all the time and effort that I put into this series, into a dead game like Survive, you could definitely consider joining my Patreon, or you could also consider joining my Discord as well, because I'm always active on there. I always stream. I always do a lot of things, so you can always get in touch with me on there. Now, I really did try to make this video as short as I can, but there was a lot of information to go under when it comes to both of those trophies individually, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same exact page so they know exactly what to look for and how to navigate through the checklists, on top of, you know, explaining how the checklist works and how you can make it work for yourself. Because at this moment in time, I didn't know you can make a copy of the spreadsheet and use it for your own personal gain. So I'm not really sure if anyone really has any issue with my long videos, and you know, I definitely don't do it on purpose, because I know there's a lot of content creators that do just to get the ad revenue. But trust me, there was no other way I could have given you guys this information and have it be shorter than it is. However, if you guys really do like these long videos, I actually do have a few other videos coming out very soon that are also in depth, that will also go into a lot of things about Survive. So I'll give you guys a quick layout of some videos that are coming out very soon that I'm almost done doing research on. So here's a few videos that are going to be coming out soon, and these, a lot of them are going to be kind of long because there's a lot of explanation, a lot of interesting things that I had to do to test them out. But here they are. We're going to have a full base defense guide, like a really good and efficient way to have a base defense for any drill setup that you ever could possibly do. And it's real easy to manage, real easy to repair, and you don't have to really take care of it too much. I have to make another crew management video. I know I have one already, and that one is still mostly good. But now that this game has practically like calmed down when it comes to that, I know a little bit more and now understand fully when it comes to crew and, like, you know, what jobs they're best in and all this other good stuff. Because back then things were a lot different. So we have a lot more information, and now I'm 100% confident on the information I know. So I will remake that video, and hopefully you guys will benefit from that. Field manuals. So this is something that I've already cracked like long ago, but I haven't had the opportunity to get around to making a video. I know exactly how many manuals you will need depending on what level or what performance your crew is at. So that's definitely going to come in handy for a lot of you guys who are trying to get S ranks and such. I'm going to do a bow video, and this one's going to look at the commonly used bows, and you're actually going to be really fucking shocked at all the data that I have accumulated when it comes to all the bows in the game, at least all the good bows. And you'd be very fucking surprised on how well these other bows perform compared to the commonly used bows that people use. So, you know, buckle up for that one, because that one's going to really shock the whole meta. On the same token, I will be making a separate video about weapon perks and what's like the best combinations for certain weapons. I'll be making another weapon video, but this was just talking about elemental versus physical damage and how to utilize that, you know, depending on what you're doing. I am going to be making a cassette location video, and the reason why I put tribute to Skillzerk is because Skillzerk is like the only fucking person that actually made a video on where certain cassette locations were. Obviously, he didn't have all of them, but I was able to fill in on most of them. But, you know, the reason why I put tribute to Skillzerk is because I was watching his video when I was going back, looking through everything and writing down every single box that he was opening up or whatever, or every location, and ensuring that we know exactly what item is in every single box whenever you go and find it. That way we have a nice organized list whenever we go down through it. And same thing again with the armor color variation. You know, again, Skillzerk also made another video about that, and you know, I had to like look at his video, look at the interactive map, all the notes on that, and write down everything and make sure I know where everything's located, and make a much better video, a much more clear, concise video that's a lot easier for you guys to navigate through, because Skillzerk is kind of all over the place. Like he'll look for a collectible at this side of the map, and then the very next collectible will be on the complete opposite fucking side of the map, and it's kind of like that back and forth throughout the whole fucking video, and that could be a little annoying. So my version is going to be, if you start here, we're going to go from here all the way down through the whole map, and it's going to be in a nice organized hunt. So to be clear, I'm not necessarily shitting on Skillzerk's video on that. I just want to lay out that, you know, his video, or his videos when it comes to these locations, you know, they vary drastically on like their locations. So I just want to make a much more clearer run. That way you don't have to move back and forth throughout the whole entire map collecting everything. I'll also be doing another video about food and water management, you know, what's the best food and all that stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of you may already know, but it's mostly for people who are new, and who knows, maybe some of you old guys might actually learn something new as well. And of course, I'll make a separate video just talking about straight food buffs, because I want to see how the food buffs interact with certain buffs that the epic gear will give you. So yeah. But like I mentioned before, all of these are already mostly researched and written down. All I need to do is just put them in the video and deliver it to you guys the best way I can. So it's a good thing I have this big ass notepad full of all my survive notes, because it's a really long list, but it comes in real handy. Anyway, I kind of talked a little too much. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the list. I hope whoever's new enjoys the list as well. Let me know what you guys think about all my work, because so far, I mean, I do get some compliments here and there. I just want to know if this is something that the community really does appreciate, because I just do this out of my free time, because I find personal enjoyment out of it. But, you know, I just want to know what you guys think, and if you want, let me know what you guys are looking forward to on my upcoming videos. And no, these are not in any specific order. Those are just what came off the top of my head. But let me know what video you're looking forward to next. And who knows, maybe if a lot of people are really asking for it, I might just do that video first. So yeah, anyway, this is GamePro24X. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.
Mission complete, and how? They're gonna tell stories about this one, boss.